Hello and a warm welcome to Learn English with Mana. In today's edition of the program, we're going to talk about a book written by William Shakespeare titled The Tragedy of Macbeth. Please stay tuned. The story is set in Scotland, and Scotland is currently at war. This war had just been won because of an army general named Macbeth. Macbeth is a general in the Scottish army, and he is considered a hero of this battle. On his way home afterward, Macbeth and his friends met three mysterious witches. Somehow, the witches already knew Macbeth's name. They tell him he was going to be promoted and he will be given more money, power, and land. Also, when they say Macbeth, the future king, Macbeth is confused and doesn't really believe the witch's opinion. Soon afterward, Macbeth receives a message from Duncan, the king of Scotland. King Duncan wants to reward Macbeth for his victory and has decided to promote him by giving him more money, power, and land. This is exactly what the witches said would happen. So Macbeth wonders if also it will be true that he will one day become king. Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, soon hears about her husband's success and the witch's prediction. She becomes overly excited about the idea of her husband becoming king, and also she wants to become queen. But she's worried that Macbeth won't do anything about it. So she came up with a plan to murder King Duncan, who is coming the following night to stay at Macbeth's castle. At first, Macbeth doesn't like the idea, but Lady Macbeth is a very powerful personality and also very cold-blooded. She persuades her husband that murdering Duncan is the best thing to do and that she has everything properly planned. That night, when King Duncan is sleeping, Macbeth and his wife makes the guards drunk. When the guards are asleep, Macbeth comes into Duncan's room and kills the king with a knife. The next morning, the king's death is received by the entire kingdom. Macbeth immediately kills the guards and tells everyone that he did so because they killed the king. Duncan's son, Macon, is frightened and he thinks this isn't all right. So he escaped to England to lie low and to also be in peace. With Duncan now dead, Macon, the king's son, escaped to England. Macbeth becomes king of Scotland, and his wife, the new queen of Scotland. But Macbeth is worried that his friends, whom they all encounter the witches, might also want to kill him. So he hires murderers. These murderers, they kill not just his friends, but also the friend's family. With too much blood on Macbeth's hands, Macbeth starts to have strange imagination that he can see ghosts and his murdered friends. At one dinner that night, the ghost appears to Macbeth, but no one else can see it. Macbeth behaved very strangely in front of all of his guests. Next, Macbeth goes to see the witches again, who makes more predictions. But they tell him that he will be safe until a nearby forest comes to his castle. Macbeth is relieved. After all, forests obviously cannot move. In a very foresting twist, Lady Macbeth is tortured by the guilt of Duncan's murder. She started sleepwalking and thinks she can see blood on her hands. She cannot get all of this blood clean. She finally goes mad and kills herself. In the meantime, King Duncan's son, Macon, who has left for England, has actually organized an army in England to invade Scotland and to punish Macbeth for killing his father. Macbeth's other enemies joined with him, and the army marched towards Scotland. Macbeth waits for the English army at his castle and is convinced that the witch's prediction means he's safe. But he is terrified when he hears that the English army is using branches from the trees of the forest to protect himself. He realizes that this means the forest is truly coming to the castle as predicted by the witches. Macbeth is no longer safe and is killed in a battle. When Macbeth died, his head was cut off and Malcolm becomes the new king of Scotland. That's it for me. If you found our story interesting, please make sure you like, share, and support us. We are on Facebook at Mana Prince Groomer, on Instagram and TikTok at Learn English with Mana 1, and on YouTube at Learn English with Mana. Have a blessed day. But let us know any other book you would let us to read. Bye-bye.